Just a second here.
There's Dave. Hi, Dave.
Hey, all.
Hey, Mike.
Hi.
Second here. Okay, I believe we are ready to go and ready to start our meeting. I'll share my screen. Welcome everyone to our city council meeting, February 11th, 2021. The meeting is being live streamed right now on the City of Luna Pier YouTube channel. The meeting's also being recorded. We'll have the files available at the City Hall. The usual online meeting rules apply to, if there's background noise, please mute your mic and mind your camera angle, and everything goes out live. No cuts, no edits. And today you may notice that the closed captioning to be ADA compliant. At this time, I'll ask Mike Anstat, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance from sunny Florida?
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which
it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Mike. We'll go to roll call, and we have a few people visiting. Jeff and Mike, who will not be able to vote, but they can otherwise participate in the meeting. Jolene, will you?
Yep.
Roll call, please.
Gramsa,
Here in Luna Pier.
Grimes is excused. Meadows,
I think you might have dropped off.
Here in Wisconsin.
here but in Wisconsin.
Yep.
Wakeman,
Here in Luna Pier.
Anstet,
Present in Florida.
Welton,
Here in Luna Pier.
Mayor Gardner.
Here in Luna Pier. Thank you, Jolene. Trust you've all had a chance to look at the meeting minutes of our January 28th meeting, which was online. We need approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the January 28th, 2021 Zoom online meeting and the approval of tonight's consent agenda.
Support.
We have a motion, we have support. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Move on to paying of our bills. The bills of warrant number 14053 and 14054. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the bills of warrant number 14053 paid in the amount of $1,670.32, as well as bills of warrant number 14054 unpaid in the amount of $16,523.62 as presented, and waive the reading.
Support.
We have a motion. We have support. Did you get the, Jolene?
Yeah, I got it.
Any discussion? We'll go to a roll call vote.
Gramsa,
Yes.
Wakeman,
Yes.
Welton,
Yes.
Mayor Gardner.
Yes. Motion carried. This time, Mike Lucarelli requested a presentation. If you want to take that, Mike.
Yes. Hi, all.
Aye.
Hey, all.
Hi, Michael.
Hi. We're live here from Pretty Boy Floyd's Hideout in Luna Pier. And I'm here with Nathan.
Good evening, everybody. Nice to meet you. My name is Nathan Shevik, and I'm an attorney with Policello and Associates. We represent a large portion of the licensed marijuana facilities in the state of Michigan. And tonight we are here to talk about a really unique idea from Mike here for Luna Pier, and an idea that we think is not something that is going to involve, bringing in so-called big cannabis and a run on properties and cannabis businesses here to Luna Pier, as you guys kind of have a unique place here. So we think that our idea really fits into that organization. Also, doing a little bit of research, we found that the community of Luna Pier did seem to support Prop 1 at a pretty large clip. If our numbers are correct, we believe it's about 62% voted in favor of Prop 1. So we think that the community at large would not necessarily be against something like this, because it's not going to be, a dispensary and a big grow for outsiders to really come in and scoop up profits. That's not what we're asking here today. So, with Mike being a local, we're going to talk a little bit about our idea. One of the things I'd like to say first off is, I have written a bunch of ordinances in the state that have been attacked and stood up in court. And we all know that one of the things that involved in opting into adult use cannabis is there's been a lot of litigation. So I'm also here to provide my service for any questions for the board members or community, and maybe to help draft something should you like this idea. So with that, we're going to start with what we'd like to do. We are here to pitch a micro business, which is a facility that allows 150 plant grow, and it'll also allow to process and make such things as edibles and concentrates, and be able to sell those out of the facility. The other license we're pitching today is we would like an adult use a consumption lounge, where people can come in and enjoy the products that they would potentially buy from the micro business. Now, one of the advantages of what we're pitching today is we have one parcel that is connected, and we could put these businesses right here together. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about here today. And as Mike being the local, I imagine you'd rather prefer to hear him. So I'm going to let him talk about the idea a little bit. So without further ado, here's Mike talking about our idea of a consumption lounge and micro business.
Hey, y'all. Okay. And we're going to kind of walk around a little bit too and talk. A little bit about me. You all probably know me. I moved to Luna Pier 23 years ago. I was on city council. I was elected 2009 to 2013. Then I moved over to the DDA, which I've been on ever since. You all know I own properties in Allen Cove, and then we've got properties downtown. We own Luna Pier Beach Cafe, the house on the corner, and Pretty Boy Floyd's Hideout. What we see and what we've been trying to accomplish is based on your resolution 932 in the entertainment district of 2018, December of 2018, that was voted unanimously by city council. It calls for an entertainment district from Chateau Louis all the way down to the end property there in the lake. So Luna Pier Beach Cafe would be the bar, the music venue, the food. And then next door, what we'd like to set up is a 21 and up coffee house, basically a coffee house, which would enable people to come in kind of much like a Big B or a Starbucks, where you would be 21, you could come in and you could buy, if you wanted to come in and let's say you had a group of 4, and 1 out of the 4 would like a brownie that's maybe infused, and 3 don't. No problem. Come on in. We're going to have it all for everybody that that wants to. And the reason why we like this idea is, first off, it's very unique. There's nothing like this anywhere in the entire state. The other reason why we like it is it's not seasonal. This would be open year round, obviously, with coffees in the wintertime and a bakery. And we would support the local community in that respect. We love this concept because in this address, we would be the sales. And so you could buy and you could take it to go, but you can't consume over on this side. On the other side, you could sit down, you could have your cup of coffee, you could relax, in this type of an environment. You could sit around. Down here, we were thinking no smoking. And to be honest with you, the smoking has gotten kind of farther and farther away anyway. People are going more toward the edibles and more toward the, I guess, the vapes and the, you know, where it's not real smoke intensive like the old days with the pipes and the joints. It's not really in that direction anymore. It's kind of going away. So we like the idea of having this where you could
Take edibles, hang out, you know, maybe have some coffee with your friends.
Yeah. And again, you got to be 21 to get in the building. This is the way this was built. And we're going to probably say no smoking, and we're going to have some sort of disclaimer. But those that want to come up here. Only this small section would be available for smoking. And we would do something to mitigate any type of
Carbon filters,
HVAC. We'll make sure that part's taken care of. Being legal in the state of Michigan, I mean, people are doing it in their homes. People are doing it, you know, anyway. So this gives them an opportunity where they can come up here and sit and enjoy their dessert. Basically make it like a coffee and dessert house. Now, some people say, why don't I just do coffee and dessert without the weed? The problem with that is we lost our ass when we had Luna Pier Beach Cafe. We had that open for about 5 years. We closed it because we lost so much money just trying to do coffee and baked goods. It doesn't work. We need a bigger draw than that. And we see that the weed, you know, with the bakery is a unique enough concept where we believe we can keep it going, keep it open year round. So that's our thinking. It fits the theme also of being 21 to get in. Pretty Boy Floyd's hideout is very unique, a historical gangster hideout.
And one of the things is he's going to be able to grow all of his plants in here. And when we say all of his plants, because this is not going to be, you know, a full scale dispensary, it's not going to take a huge amount of plants to sustain its operation. So right now we'll show you where we're going to grow those plants here in the building.
Right. Even though we're allowed to do 150 by state law, and again, we're going to do everything obviously by state law, obviously. We probably are not going to come anywhere close to that. It's going to be a small mom and pop operation, and we can only do what we can do out of this building is our thinking. So, so this would be a showcase where you bake goods, you can buy your stuff here, you can take it to go, you can't consume it here, or you can walk next door. This will be refabbed so that the kitchen area will be refabbed so that they can bake and such in here. And I'm not going to necessarily be doing it as we had talked a couple of years back. We have people that are running bakeries and coffee shops now that would come in and operate that for us. You know, so they're the experts at that. The licenses will be under me. The property would be under me. And as you can see, it's not real big. So this would be all blocked off. No one would be allowed up here except for the people that grow, which we got one guy in mind. So this would be, obviously it's going to be prefab. We don't want to do anything unless obviously we talk to you first, but you know, the carpet will be removed. We have grow operations in here. We could actually extend upward if we need to up in the attic area. You know, once we get in there and how that's going to work. And there's an additional room on this side that we can get into. But basically, the way we figure it, we might be able to get maybe 50 plants or so, not 150. So it's going to be a small operation. So rather than have a big group come in, which at one point they were talking to me, and rather than have them come in, we wanted to keep it local and we wanted to keep it small, but provide a service for the 62% that want it, and the 38% that didn't want it, they can continue to walk on by, but as long as we abide by Michigan state law, they don't necessarily have to come in.
Absolutely. And this is not, one of the things that I think is important is, you know, this is not Mike's, jump headfirst into cannabis. With these 2 licenses, he would not be able to have other cannabis operations. This is it with these licenses. It's not like it allows him to go somewhere else, get a dispensary, or go somewhere else, get a big grow and bring that product in here. The only things that can be here are the things that are grown here. So as Mike was just saying, kind of with the local flavor and, providing a service to those who want it, the people who don't want it potentially might not even know, don't even have to know it exists. It's not going to be a huge cannabis operation. There's not going to be, light up weed leaves all over the place. This is kind of a supplement to allow him to run a business all year round and remain open and profitable. So I think that that's important as well, that it's not just, the cannabis money grab that everybody kind of suspects when talking about cannabis.
Right. We just think the concept is really perfect for the district, the entertainment district, which calls for coffee houses and restaurants and bars and entertainment. We think it fits right in. And the property is small enough, but yet big enough. And the 2 addresses, everything seems to fit.
Absolutely. And like Mike said, I can speak to this. There is not an idea or an operation like this in the state anywhere. It is absolutely super unique. And I'm not going to lie to you. I grew up in Sturgis, Michigan, and I didn't know of Luna Pier until probably 2 months ago when Mike came to me. But coming over here and learning about it, you guys really have a unique area over here, and it really is kind of a gem of a place. And I feel like a unique operation like this in a unique location is kind of hand in glove, as opposed to if, you were going to put this place, in Kalamazoo or in Detroit. I think here it is more fitting. So that's our thinking.
Yeah, and our timing is good. I know there's other operations that are opening right up the road, big operations, Grow House up at the Horizon Mall. It's all been approved. They're putting in their stuff. There's Loom over in Petersburg is the only one currently open, but other people are coming on board. And
the sky is not falling in those places.
But we can wait and say no, but at one point it's kind of like other people are doing it, and it's kind of like we're better off, I think, to get in about now. I think our timing is really good, and we're not going to be open anytime soon. It would probably be, again, it depends on how the flow of this goes, but I mean, I'd like to just start working on it, and I don't have any set time frame like we will be open on this date or that date. But, it would be nice to have it up and running maybe sometime in the summer if we could.
Right. From a licensing perspective, without talking about any construction at all, I could tell you, if we were to start the licensing process today, it would probably be until about June until he could have his license without any construction delays. So yeah, obviously we're not talking about opening tomorrow, and obviously we would have to craft an ordinance. So yeah, this is a ways down the road. What we would like to do tonight is kind of put this in your ear and hopefully have you think about it a little bit and kind of embrace it potentially, or maybe, come back with some questions. And, if you have questions tonight, we're happy to take them. And then, we can maybe potentially work together to make this happen. So that this is our idea, and we think that it fits beautifully here in Luna Pier. And with that, we're happy to take any questions that you might have.
As you know, Mike, normally we don't do question and answers
Okay.
at a public hearing, and it really, there's a lot of stages that it would have to go through. It's not just city council's decision. Obviously, it's zoning, planning, a lot of steps before it even is considered by the city council. We did opt out of recreational. The only action by council would be if we do opt into recreation, and we are not ready to make that decision yet. We did opt out, and don't have plans for changing that right now. We are investigating that, maybe in the future, but we have not. We have no plans for opting into recreational at this point. At this time, I thank you for your presentation. I'm sure there will be some discussion amongst everybody, and I think we'll move on with our meeting tonight. And you know how to get a hold of all of us.
Yep.
And thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks for your time.
We appreciate it.
Yes. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right.
Thanks, Mike.
Okay, I'll get back to my. Okay, moving on to the mayor's report. The police millage, it has all its approvals. It went through the state the governor's office, the attorney general's office, came back. It's been submitted to the Monroe County clerk. When everything is approved, we get our notice that it will be on the ballot. We really need to go to work and let people know exactly what's involved in that, as we have talked extensively.
Mr. Mayor,
Go ahead, Neil.
I'm just wondering, did we find out what our percentage or portion of the cost for that is? I know it's kind of a shared basis with other people from other municipalities having something on the ballot at that time. Do we know what that number is, just for FYI?
I don't know if we have a complete figure. Jolene can help me out, but we do have I think there's two other that are supposed to go on the ballot. We'll know when those are approved. Then we'll know how the cost will be split up. I think it was about 5,000 if we were the only ones. And is that correct, Jolene?
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah. So if we split it three ways, I mean, we might only pay for our portion of Luna Pier, might be how they'll divide it. I'm not sure. I haven't heard back from the county yet on how they're going to do that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting if it's just a flat, however many people have something in there, you divide it that number, or if it's like a per capita per municipality percentage,
Because I think like the county usually pays some, and then the ISD will pay because they have a millage on there. And then the library has, I believe it's the library has a millage. So, and their biggest portion will be, most of Monroe County. So I'm hoping we're only asking for a little portion in Luna Pier to have our millage on it. So, hopefully our cost won't be that bad.
And we know the plans to submit those, but we don't know if they've been approved, right, Jolene?
I haven't heard anything. I just know that the county clerk said that they had all intentions on putting them on. And so, I mean, that's why the May ballot was going to be in effect before they even knew we were going to put a police millage on. They had already planned on those two being on there. So.
Okay, good. So it's very good likelihood.
Yeah.
That we will share that cost. Any other questions? Okay, the Lighthouse Fund balance. I may share, let me move some things over here. Right now it's $88,061.49. The work in process, like the elevator, there's drywall work, there's work being done right now. That totals $26,988. When we pay that off, our ready to finish balance, which will be $61,000. Now, out of that, we still have to do the painting, the suspended ceilings throughout the building, which that is around $10,000. The floor covering, kitchen cabinets, all the finished plumbing and appliances. We still have a lot of work to do out of that $61,000. Let me share one other document here. This one explains a little bit better. This is from Mike, and this is some of the things that the completion of the electrical and that's what they're doing right now. There's a little bit of electrical work that has to be done once the elevator is installed. Some lighting fixtures, rough flowing to the kitchen, about 3,000 drywall. We're all committed with that, and that brings it down to 61,000. And none of these other other projects have been quoted: the painting, suspended ceilings, floor coverings, final trim, kitchen cabinets, as we went over, and the deck. I'll switch back to this one here. The deck will exceed 20,000, and so we'll have to put that out for bid. There's a few more expenses there that go along with that. We need a doorway to get out to the deck. We don't plan on having people climb out the window. The deck with a separate egress doubles the occupancy. We can only put 50 up there, but with a separate egress, which would be through the deck, that would jump it up to 100. So there's a big difference there, but it's a very, deck prices are expensive. And right now, building materials are at a premium. We're hoping that things will start to drop down again, barring any more hurricane world record, or record-breaking hurricane seasons or pandemics. Those two things just really put the hit on prices. And we will need to seek some funding. We do have money to work with, and we'll keep going on it and keep moving. And as we get closer, we will seek that funding to finish it up. Any questions on that, on the lighthouse? Moving on, JD's building plans are moving along. I don't know if they delivered material, but they're planning on delivering material. They applied for the building permit and picked that up. Things are moving along there. I'd really like to see that move up, and we're doing all we can to support that. Moving on to the commissions, and the board vacancies. Last meeting, we all voted and agreed who was going to head up committees. Now, the hard part is we have to fill these positions. Zoning and planning in particular have some openings. In fact, it's going to be hard to function until we fill those positions. And we already have at least one meeting coming up where somebody paid for a meeting for the zoning, and we need to have enough people to attend. We need to finish out our zoning board. We lost a few people on that board, but all of the committees and commissions have vacancies. So we need to all work together on that. We can use the resources, the Facebook page, our website, contacts. Nothing works like personal contact. And that's where we really need to work together, and everybody has to get on board. It's really the council reps' ultimate responsibility to see that they get filled. Of course, it's with the chairman of the commissions too, but it's everyone's responsibility to make sure the chairman has everything they need to fill those vacancies and help really promote the importance of filling those roles. I really like the idea of looking for skill sets, challenging people with skill sets that we know they have. There's people out there who are very talented. Ask them if they have those skill sets, and ask them to serve, if they'd be willing to serve and share their talents. There's a lot of talent in this city. We really need some help with that right now. And nothing works, again, like asking somebody, if you have these skills, can you please help us out and apply them and make us a better community? Any questions on that?
Mayor, do you have a list you can email to us of
Yes.
vacancies on which committees?
Yep.
And could you rank them in priority as far as, immediate needs?
Yes. I would, yeah, I can do that.
They'll all be in the same line at the top.
Yeah, they're all important. Zoning,
I don't
It's
disagree,
probably-
but I mean, as far as, the zoning meeting already being paid for and
Yeah.
requested, and
zoning would be the top of the list. I can say that right now. Planning is right up there with it. Those two, we need those to function as a city. Those are top priority. I can say that right now. And we really need to fill those so we can function as a city. The other ones we need to fill because we want to be a vibrant city. We want to be a vibrant city, and we need those committees and commissions to accomplish that, really to serve our citizens well. Any other questions? I think you've seen the building report. It's usually there were the mechanical sign-offs in that report. Any other department reports? And committee reports? Anybody have anything they want to report? Now's your chance.
Just a quick one on the feasibility committee. We had our first meeting last Tuesday, and it was really more of a get to know you type meeting where it wasn't really get to know you, it was get to know our purpose. How's that?
Okay.
And it was a very good meeting. Everybody's on the same page today. We hope to remain that way and make some headway here in the near future.
Yes, thank you. That is a very, very important task that you have before you, and we all need to have your back on this too. Moving on to old business, the poverty exemption resolution. If you had a chance to compare those, you have the one with the lot more detail in those, in that was highlighted in yellow. They're a lot more specific than council just making the decision, was the way the old one said. And I gotta say that I have problems with that kind of, the way that's written. That gives us an awful lot of authority that we have to answer to. Is very, very vague. Well, the other one is very, very specific. So are there any questions on that?
Only, do we know just by way of percentage how many people fall into any of those categories? Is it very few? Is it quite a few? Is it 50% of our city? It'd be nice to know.
I think it's very low. Do you know, Jolene, on that?
I don't know. I mean, Stephanie hasn't really said too much about it, so I don't think it's a real high percentage. I don't see a lot of people coming in and asking for it. So,
yeah. And talking to Dee's a good resource on that too. And they both said it was real low. I don't have a specific number.
I'd also be curious as if there's any way to find out how many people are right on the cusp,
That's good. That's a good question.
I mean, be honest with you.
Pardon?
I don't know.
I missed part of that.
If people really know about it.
I think you're breaking up there.
Yeah.
And I think Mike's
Okay.
frozen too.
Yeah, you're frozen, Mike.
Yep. We can get back to that if you.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I just thought of something real quick on the last subject there. Are all of the descriptions of the commissions, especially for like the zoning and planning, are the descriptions of the duties on our website, or do we need to get that elsewhere when we're talking to other people?
It would be better if we examined all of those and really rewrote them. If we have them, they're old and they need to be reviewed, because I don't think any of them have been changed in a long time. I think we could be a little more effective in our wording, and when we're offering people the challenge, we should be able to tell them exactly what it involves and what the purpose is. Put the why before the how. It's always important.
Exactly. So that's probably step one before people even start reaching out, because if we don't have our ducks in a row, they're not going to have much interest.
Correct. Very, very good point. I'm glad you went back to that.
And that's actually a very kind of common complaint, I think, from those who served on boards for, only one term or a short period of time was, there didn't seem to be a whole lot of guidance or structure to what was going on.
That's true. And we did have some overlap on committees, and a lot of times it was the same people on two different groups that seemed to be doing a lot of the same things, and a lot of work was falling on a very few number of people. So we want to do better than that, and I think we can. It'll take some work and some planning.
If I could state, we need to really encourage people to further with some additional education on their own, like continuing education. There's a lot of education on planning commission, but it's one of those things that I've had to search for myself and find it. And Monroe County is really, well, not this year, they haven't, but usually a couple times a year, they offer planning education and things like that, that we can encourage other people to attend things, even the ones that are on planning now. I mean, I've been to several, and Jim, you and I might have been the only ones from Luna Pier there.
Yes, and that the situation with the pandemic now actually works a little bit in our favor, because a lot of these webinars are really good and they're recorded.
It's all online.
And you can access them very easily. You can access them on YouTube. So that means they're open to anybody. Before, they were only open to a few people. And sometimes there was no recording that you could get. You get a slide deck, but that really was not enough. Now you can get the whole presentation, and it's open to the public. It's open to everyone. It's not open to just the person who signed up.
I'd like to add SEMCOG as a reminder for an excellent resource as well.
Yes, SEMCOG and MML, Michigan Municipal League. I listen to at least 3 webinars a week, sometimes more, and they're really good information. I've gotten a wealth of knowledge through those. So moving on to the poverty exemption resolution. Any questions there? And then new business, the Title IV non-discrimination plan. There's a little bit of a story to this one. As part of one of our grant follow-ups, a lot of questions came up of how we handle non-discrimination, how we inform people, very detailed questions about our non-discrimination plan. And I didn't know where to go to get the answers. I think I put the right answers down there, and I just put down what we did, but I didn't know where to reference. Then shame on me, I went to our website, and what do you know? I'll share that right now. That let's see, not that one. Let me find the right page. We're going to see ourselves again. I have several screens open here, so. And I may have closed that one out. I did close that one out. But if you go to our website, it has our non-discrimination plan right on the front page. We are required to give language assistance, and all of that is in the plan. Here, let me share it right now. I think I'm on the right page. How's that? As we go to the City of Luna Pier web page, look on the left side there under our links, you will find our Title VI non-discrimination plan. There it is there. Now, if I open up this, it'll be the version of the one we're voting on tonight with the old names on it. So I won't open that, but translator resource, I didn't know we had this, that if we get somebody in who speaks a language and we don't understand, we have our myriad of numbers we can call for the different languages. Now, if you can't understand the person and you don't even know what language they're speaking, we've got that covered too. And I did print this up, that we have all of these languages, and you hand them this card and they check the box so that they can read. And when you get to like English, it says, check this box if you read and speak English. And that's what each one of these says. So we have resources available. It really is important to me. Diversity, inclusion, we all need to work together. We cannot afford to pass up any resources we have that are offered to us. And because somebody doesn't look like us or maybe doesn't speak like us, they have much that they can share and we can learn from it and we can really benefit. It's just really important to me when everybody has a chance to push in the same direction.
I'll agree with all
Okay.
that. I think
Yep.
that's a great resource. And as you said, a CEO of our company says, you know, we need more people that don't look like me, talk like me, dress like me, or even think like me. So it's a great thing.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I grew up in that culture at Ford too, and being an international company, we had people from all over the world that would come through, and it is fascinating people. The knowledge base you have with that is just incredible. It really, you will really benefit from that personally, and the city was better off because of it. At this time, we'll move to our community input. If anybody has comments on anything tonight, anything relating to the city, call 734-848-6495. We're going to tread water a little bit because there's about a 45-second delay to the broadcast onto YouTube. And we want to give everybody a chance. If you have comment, call that number. You can relay it through somebody. We can put you on speakerphone. You can speak live if you want, but we would love to hear your comments. At this time, we talk about the weather until we get a phone call.
Thought you were going to get out your banjo.
Dave Davis, 4404 Center First Street, Luna Pier.
Yep. Okay, Dave, you can speak. Yep. And you're live, so you can have at it.
Okay, I just want to appreciate that you did give the update on where the lighthouse project was. That's my question I had last council meeting.
Yep.
The question was the $20,000 for the deck. Do we know how much money we're going to need?
You just went mute. You just
went mute, Dave. We caught only first half of your sentence or your question
Okay.
on the deck.
Can you hear me now?
yes, we can.
Okay, the question I had was, we needed another 20,000 to do the deck, or the deck, we still have funds available for the deck?
What we know the deck is going to cost more than 20,000. What that means is we have to put it up for bid. It's probably going to be between 25 and 30, but we know it may be we know it's going to be over 20,000. Pricing out materials, even before they went up, we just couldn't come up with anything that would be less than $20,000. Doing a rough figure and the material cost, we know we're going to have to put that out for bid. because of our policy with the charter that anything over 20,000, we have to put out for bid before we can do that. But I would estimate closer to 25,000. I don't think it'll be over 30, but it's in that range. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
All right, no problem. Any calls, Jolene?
No, we haven't gotten anything.
Okay. I heard a gap there, so I didn't know if that meant that you were on the line. We had a nice frosty, cool food distribution this morning. Thank Rick Lichty, who came down and helped us. He saw us out there working in the cold and decided to join us. A good man. And we had just enough people so we could take turns going in and warm up a little bit and come back out. But people really do appreciate that. And we were able to take some over to the senior citizen housing and feed people there too. Well, if we have, I don't see any activity. I think we'll move on to council action. Poverty exemption resolution number 953. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the poverty exemption guidelines resolution revised number 953 as presented and waive the reading.
Support.
We have a motion and we have support. Did you get all that, Jolene? Any discussion? If not, we'll let's go to a roll call vote on this. Just
Wakeman,
Yes.
Gramza,
Yes.
Welton, Mayor Gardner.
yes. If nothing else, the motion carried. Nothing else. It's so quick to do a roll call vote tonight.
Only four.
Title VI non-discrimination plan update. Do I have a motion?
I will make a motion to approve the Title VI non-discrimination plan update as presented and waive the reading.
Support.
We have a motion. We have support. We're definitely going to go to a roll call on this one.
Gramza,
Yes.
Wakeman,
Yes.
Welton,
Yes.
Mayor Gardner.
Yes. Thank you. Motion carried. Council input and information. We reach out to those who couldn't be here tonight and wish them the best. I won't mention names, but we all know. At this time, we have no correspondence, general information. We are following pandemic protocol with meetings. Our online meetings will resume through March 31st. There are, again, some that can take place because we are within our numbers, safe numbers, and we safe distance and mask and take all the precautions we need to keep everybody safe. City Hall will be closed February 15th for President's Day. Parks and Recreation, I'll put that as TBD. It's 7 o'clock at Water Tower Park. We're planning on meeting on the Tuesday, second Tuesday of the month. We'll have more on that later. FEP meeting Tuesday, February 16th, 7 p.m. Water Tower Park. DDAs to be determined. Planning Tuesday, February 23rd at 4 at City Hall. City Council Thursday, February 25th, 7 o'clock. And right now we're planning on doing that as a Zoom meeting. Thank you, everyone. Are there any more final comments?
One question, Mayor. Is there a zoning meeting set up at this time yet?
We don't have a meeting set up yet.
Okay.
We'll need to get a hold of City Hall, and we'll make arrangements and see what we have in the building department.
Jolene, did we ever hear back from Polly Fredericks at all?
No,
No.
Nope.
Yeah, she's not, did not express any interest in continuing on the zoning board. Anything else?
Jim, just real quick, I'll jump in here. I talked to Stacy last night after his surgery. Everything came out good. And he's just home resting. Just wanted to let you guys know that.
Good.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, we're feeling for him. That hurts. Yeah, I'll tell you straight out.
by experience, huh?
Yeah. Okay, if not, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Support.
Have motion, we have support. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
See you
Good
soon.
night, everybody.
Yeah.